There has been several bolder solutions to end gender inequality, especially as the COVID-19 has entered its second year. Now, research has shown that while the pandemic has accelerated platforms, digital platforms for learning and earning and connecting, some 2.2 billion people below the age of 25 still do not have access to internet. And research has also shown that girls are more likely to be cut off. Now, breaking it down, the research carried out shows that girls use devices, have less access to the internet than the boys. Now, you know that the pandemic, the COVID-19, actually, there's a new normal, which is the use of internet for learning, for all forms of things, for meetings, and all of that. So to say that a certain percentage of women or children still do not have access to the internet at this time, then it's something to look at. The International Girl Child Day was celebrated on the 11th of October. And so today we'll be looking at the International Girl Child Day and relating it to the issue of gender inequality. My name is Peace Isaac-Yerokun, and I welcome you to this week's edition of Fact, Face, and Forum. My guest today I'll introduce after this break. Stay with us. We're still on to the program today. Now, my guest today is Chika Nwokwobi. She is an educationist, and together we'll try to look at the issue of the girl child, relating it to the International Girl Child Day that was celebrated on the 11th of October. Now, we'll try to trash out some of the issues that keep reoccurring, which is the issue of gender inequality. You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Now, it's saddening, or something that I think is worrisome, that still now at the age, in this period, this period of time, year 2021, we're still talking about gender inequality. And it's even more saddening to know that the certain percentage, of children, especially girls, do not have access to e-learning. Now, this year's theme is very suggestive. The thing being digital generation, our generation. Now, why do we want to talk about this? Because it's worrisome for this group of people, Gender Equality Forum, to discover that a lot of girls, or that girls are mostly affected in the use of devices or this digital era. They have said that this e-learning has come to stay. Now, why is it that girls are mostly affected? That's the issue that I don't understand, and probably along the line we'll be able to put the hand on it. Now, why is it that at this point in time, we're still talking about this gender inequality and the issue of girls being mostly affected in this digital era? How is that?
Actually, it's something that is happening, because in other parts of the world, girls, female children are treated better than this part of the world, Nigeria. So the girls, the discrimination on female children is so much, and I think it's because of the myopic mindset that we have in this country. They still believe that the place for women is in the kitchen, that women should not be allowed to speak out, that they should not be allowed to do certain jobs, that they should not be allowed to go to school. But it is wrong, because our girls are becoming bolder, they are becoming more creative, they are multitasking in every sphere of life now. So the female discrimination should stop in Nigeria.
Now, why do we need to particularly set there? I know this is an international program. Why do we need to set aside a particular day in the year for girls especially?
Yes, that's a very welcoming idea, because girls should be celebrated. They should be encouraged. They should not be looked down. They should be, you make them happy, celebrate them, encourage them to do more. So I think that's one of the reasons why a date was mapped out for them to move on, to know that there is no limitation in life, that they can do it. So they don't need to give up. They are already winning, and they will continue to win.
Now, we've discovered that some of these things about, looking down on the female or looking down on the girl child, or, making it look like not what it is, but making it look like women are the second class, women or girls are not as important. Now, this is something that's been handed down from generation up till now in this recent time. So how do we begin to work at this to ensure that at the level where we are now, 2021, that the proper information is passed down? Where do we start from to begin to reorientate ourselves, our society, to begin to give girls and women the recognition that they deserve?
Yes, I think the reorientation should start from the homes. Parents should start appreciating their girl child. They should know that equal rights should be given to the girls, that the girls can still do what the boys can do, even better. When you appreciate your girl child, knowing that she's a human being, that she has every right to do everything, there's no limitation, it starts from the home. The child will be encouraged. When the child moves into the society, that is the school, schools should be giving talks, seminars, and others to both parents, teachers, and even the students. So when you make them to appreciate themselves, to know that they are human beings, that they have all equal rights to do whatever they want to do, when guided, they will start moving forward. They will start doing things without limitation. You don't say that girls should not do science subjects that is meant for boys. Let them be encouraged. Let them be involved, even in decision taking. You see, they will start appreciating themselves. Then the society, especially students that are looking for jobs, graduates, there should be no discrimination saying that this job is meant for the boys or the men, that a woman cannot do it. Now we have women that are MDs in banks. The MD of Fidelity Bank is a woman, and she's doing very, very well. In schools, we have school proprietresses that are doing so much better than the male proprietors. The girls should be encouraged in every sphere of life.
All right. In some parts of our society, I think it cuts across, but in Igbo land, for instance, they feel when they look at a man go into the kitchen, pound yam, for instance, and cook and serve the entire family. Now, a mother-in-law walks into the home and sees her son pounding yam in the kitchen, and sees her son probably wearing an apron and cooking and serving. Then she begins to think that, hey, this woman has used something on my son. She has shaved my son's hair and all that. So, and then the son has said, sometimes in such societies, let's say the mother or somebody is around, some can hide to do it when there is nobody around. But when there is a guest, especially from home, they begin to think, oh, so how do we begin to, because if it says from home, it's much more than appreciating the girl child. Now, the man who is appreciating her daughter or the woman who is appreciating her daughter already has it in her head that, oh, you want to send to wash plates? It is the girl you call into the kitchen. You think, oh, the girls have equal rights with the boys. But if you need to sweep the house, it is the girl you will call. You still live. So how do we begin to really, really deal with it? Because these are issues that are bothering even the adults, like those, some of us.
Yes, I think civilization has come in. Many young guys now, they know that their wives are not slaves. So they go out, they travel outside, they see men doing some domestic work, and they bring it home. Now, people don't see it as anything.
So you think it's beginning to change?
Yes, it's beginning to change because at home, the wife, though she multitasks, but she shouldn't be left to die because she's trying to help the children to prepare for school, prepare the meal for the husband and the children, does school runs, goes back to her work, comes back. If she becomes sick, the husband will still suffer it. So a very good husband, a good man, appreciates the wife by helping out in doing domestic things because he knows that that wife is not a slave. That's why people that practice that old thing, allowing the wife to do everything, you see divorce everywhere. Family breaks up.
Because the woman gets tired.
Yes, the woman gets tired. So because she has not been speaking up, one day she will say, I'm tired.
Oh.
And the next thing will be to leave the home. The children will suffer, the husband will suffer. So instead of allowing it to get to that, there should be mutual understanding between the husband and the wife. They shouldn't look at what is happening during their father's time.
Now, bringing it home to the theme of the International Girls' Day, International Girls' Day, digital generation, our generation, how does that apply? What we are saying now, how does it apply? Is it that this is a digital age and then everything has gone digital, including the role of the girls as compared to that of the boys?
The role of a girl, child, and the boys, they should marry together, so that none of the genders will feel cheated.
Okay.
Yes, and digitally, everything is, everybody is learning almost at the same time. The girls are not left out. Same with the boys. So that's why things are working out better now.
Yeah,
because
but there's
a global thing.
From the research carried out, there's still some percentage. I mean, like, to say that the boys have more access to the internet much more than girls, is that proper in this generation?
It shouldn't
because
be.
if for instance in the home where the children are going to school, the girls should have access to the device to use at the same time with the boys. So why would they say, okay, there is only one system in the house, you the boy use it and the girl stay?
Yes, that's why I said that there should be a good talk to those parents that do that. It shouldn't be like that. Girls should be treated the way boys are treated. You don't separate them in terms of usage. The internet is in the house. What you teach is that they should be taking turns.
Okay.
Let the boy use it at this particular time. After that, the girl should use. Teach them how to allow the other person to do things and the next person will do.
Yeah, but when it comes to learning, I'm just casting my mind back to, the lockdown period when children were some schools had resumed learning through the internet.
Yes.
And then you have a home where you have two children. One is a boy, one is a girl. And they can only afford one device, one computer system for both of them. And school learning is on at the same time. It becomes an issue of price. So, what will be the priority? How would the family prioritize use at that time?
I still refer to the Western world. I know that during the lockdown, like America, they gave computers to all the children. There was no discrimination at all. But here in Nigeria, when a situation when there's just one device to use, the parents should provide. They brought the children to the world. So if there is only one device, probably the mom has a device, a phone, the father has. So in a situation like this, you have to sacrifice. Once the parents, I think the way to cope all this should start from home.
In Africa here or in Nigeria, when the families or the men always say, who will take after my name? Who will take my name? When the girl marries, she goes to her husband's house and she takes on the name of the husband and throws the father's name away.
Well, it's something that is natural that you cannot change. When you don't have a male child, normally in the olden days, they would tell one of the girls to stay behind and give birth so that the boy will remain. But now, girls take care of the families, take care of the homes, even from their husband's side. Yes, so that one has been taken care of.
Exactly, I agree totally with you. It doesn't really matter the sex of the child,
yes,
whether it's a boy or a girl. You educate your child, your girl child, as appropriate as you educate your boy child, and the girl will give you value for your money. We've been talking with Chika Nwokwobi, who is an educationist, and now I'm particularly pleased that the issue of gender equality is gradually fading away. People, homes, everyone is beginning to understand there's still more work to be done. We're continuing the program with the health segment, treatment of infection in the ear. Stay with us.
Ear infections are caused by bacteria or viruses in the middle ear. Ear infections occur more often in children than adults. Some causes and contributing factors that lead to ear infections are work speed up, respiratory infection, food allergies, environmental allergies, genetics, nutritional deficiency, and internal injuries.
ENT comprises management of conditions of the ears, the nose, and the throat. For the ears, the ear is divided into three parts: the outer, the middle, and the inner ears. Each of these can be affected separately or can be affected one with the other. Say an infection spreads from the outer ear, goes into the middle ear, or spreads from the middle ear into the inner ear. So the management depends on the location of the infection. Many times patients report pain, sometimes past discharge, balance problems if it's affecting the inner ear, dizziness, and what we call vertigo, that is poor balance. And many times the hearing also goes down or reduces, what we call hearing loss. So the management depends on the causative organism. Most commonly, there are bacterial infections, although sometimes viral infections or fungal infections are encountered as well. So, with ear infections, one of the things we advise patients is to avoid water entering the ears, because that tends to worsen the problem. Avoid instrumentation in the ears. It's always advisable to come to the hospital. Severe cases which have resulted in damage to the eardrum may require surgery, which can also be done here. So patients do not have to go out of the country for eardrum replacement surgery, it can be done here. We have encountered patients who are not aware of the discipline of ENT, so they tend to move around many places looking for help, and the condition worsens. So we are putting it out there that ENT as a discipline has grown, it has matured in the country, so patients shouldn't be deceived that this can be managed in any other way. No, it is always best if you have a condition affecting any of those parts, come to the hospital. There are specialists available daily in the hospital. You will get help with the condition.
I think the ear is very sensitive, and if there is an infection, it has to be taken care of, ASAP, with speed, so that people don't get deafened. And it's very unfortunate to find out that some deafness or some deaf diseases is as a result of infection that is not properly treated. Please, as soon as there is a little bit of sign, go immediately and consult with your doctor. Now the market survey. Today we'll be looking at prices and patronage of fresh fish.
Hello, welcome to Market Survey on Triple F. Today our focus is on fish. As you can see, we are at the fish market to find out the prices of fish. And do you know what names these fish are called? Where are they from? Are they from the sea or the ocean? What is this patronage level? Are they high or the prices are coming gradually down? Come along with me as we explore the world of fish.
Red snapper, 15, 20, 18. Grouper, 10,000, 12,000, 15,000. Anikro kanlano, 25, 20, 18. Yitamanta ni 12, Otiwani 11,000.
Before, this fish is plenty and a specific amount we sell them. But now the fish has gone up, everything is cost. But it cannot be done. There is no space to store them. And the person that wants to buy complain it's expensive. Once we mention the price, the buyer run, it's expensive now and unbearable. Imagine this fish is 20,000, the buyer will run. This 15,000, the buyer.
I'm even asking her to bring 5,500. She said no. I mean, let me say a year now.
As you can see, the prices of fish are still on a very high side. That's all we can take on Market Survey this week. Back to the studio where Triple F continues.
Thank you for being part of today's episode of Facts, Face and Forum. Now, which of these ideas have you decided, in case you want to adopt that girl that you've been looking at since, now you want to make her a wife? How do you want to? You want to give her a surprise? Some of them will, in fact, there was one incident, we've had people laughed, and they laughed and laughed and laughed. Somebody who does not even know how to, with his croaky voice, he wanted to sing a love song to this girl. In an eatery. He wanted to throw a surprise, where he planned to propose to the girl. And I used to say, some didn't kneel down to say, would you marry me? Those kind of things. Some didn't, but they still wanted to do macho. You go marry me, I you don't go marry me. Those kinds of things. And some decided to be very romantic about it. Whichever of these ideas, whichever way you decided to propose to your spouse, the important thing is that the marriage is respected, the tenets of marriage is respected, your marriage is successful, and no abuse. No abuse. Thank you for being part of this edition of Facts, Face and Forum. Here, we draw the curtain for today. We see you again next week, God willing. Bye for now, and I remain peace, Isaac-Yerokun.